Hello, everybody.
Okay, we will call FA-21-45519 in the matter of the marriage of Casey Allen Schnell and Courtney Lynn Schnell and in the interest of BS. Okay, we have Mr. Schnell, Mrs. Schnell, and Mr. McNulty for the AG's office.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, what do we have to address today?
So, Your Honor, we're here today on the at the previous hearing. The order for a new trial was granted. There was just to kind of go back over the history. There was a previous divorce decree that was entered back on March 4th of 2022, which had set Mr. Schnell's child support at $1,241.57 a month. Then on September 19th of 2024, there was an agreed judgment that was entered, which had reduced Mr. Schnell's current child support. But then shortly after discovering a change in employment, right after that judgment was entered, the Office of Attorney General filed a motion for new trial, and we had a hearing over that motion on December 17th of 2024, where that request for a new trial was granted. So today we're here to address the initial modification motion to modify and confirm arrears that was filed on January 30th of 2024. I believe there are also counter petitions that were filed by each of the parties into this cause as well, that we're also here to address today. I think Mr. Schnell filed a motion to enforce the possession and access. And I also think Ms. Schnell also filed a counter petition. So I think we're here to address all of these petitions at once.
Okay. Now, in reviewing some of the documents, well, actually, let me get the parties sworn in real quick. If you'll both raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
I do.
Okay. Now, Ms. Schnell, where are you residing?
Missouri.
Missouri? Okay. And Mr. Schnell, where are you residing?
The state of Michigan, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The state of Michigan.
Michigan. Okay. And where is your child residing?
Missouri. With me.
Missouri.
Okay. Mr. Schnell, how long have you lived in Michigan?
2019, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Schnell, how long have you lived in Missouri?
Since October of 23. Excuse me.
Okay. Just so that I get the information correct, Mr. Schnell, what exactly did you file?
I filed a few different things, Your Honor. Basically, a lot of it. Let me pull them up here so I can have something to reference. I don't want to misquote myself. There was three of them. There was motion to enforce and for contempt, one for affecting the parent-child relationship, and then the visitation demand. Those are the three that I filed. Basically, I mean, are you asking kind of the reasons why I filed them, or just kind of what I filed?
What you filed?
Yeah, so those are the three.
Okay,
Sorry,
and then what is at issue?
The issue is, Your Honor, is I have done the best that I can considering the distance between the child and myself as far as maintaining some kind of relationship, and I haven't been afforded that. And there's sections in the original and final divorce decree that allot me certain days at certain times twice a week to FaceTime with the child, and those don't happen.
Okay. Hold on. I just kind of want to real quick. I just want to know what's at issue. So you're looking for a motion to enforce access?
Access, yes, ma'am. Not only with the bi-weekly calls, but also the parenting times that I'm allotted each year.
Okay. And we can get into those issues in a little bit. Okay. And as far as, and you said you filed a visitation demand, and then what else did you file?
There was a suit affecting the parent-child relationship.
Okay. And what are you requesting?
I just want to have a relationship with my son, Your Honor. I live far away from him, and I want what's best for him, and I want what's best for he and I's relationship. And if during the times that I'm away, I want to be able to at least maintain that kind of relationship with him. You know, he's the most important person in this whole situation.
Okay. In connection with the petition that you filed, are you seeking to change something that's in a prior order?
I want to make sure that what's in the initial and previous order is enforced, to be honest.
Okay.
There has been no enforcement.
Okay. Ms. Schnell, did you file something in this cause?
A modification for visitation, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For supervision, supervised visitation.
What day did you file that?
To February 10th, it was accepted by the court.
Got it. Okay. Mr. McNulty, would you
Yes,
like
Your
to
Honor.
proceed with regard to the child support issue?
Yes, I would, Your Honor.
Okay. You may call your first witness.
At this time, the state will call Mr. Schnell. Mr. Schnell, you understand that one of the issues that we're here today to address is to determine if there should be a modification of the previous divorce decree that was entered in Fannin County on March 4th of 2022. You understand that?
I understand.
And in that divorce decree, you were ordered to pay child support in the amount of $1,241.57 each month. Now, and in that divorce decree, were you the one that was ordered to provide health and dental insurance for the child?
I was, yeah.
And are you continuing to provide health and dental insurance for the child in this case?
I am, yes. And I made sure to provide the mother with documentation of showing that.
Oh, and do you have any other minor biological children who are below the age of 18?
I have one. She's 16. She lives in Fannin County.
Okay, and are you ordered to support that other child that lives in Fannin County?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, what were you doing for work at the time that previous divorce decree was entered, where they entered that current child support amount that you're paying?
I was an overseas defense contractor for the military.
Okay. Now, back in September of 2024, did you sign a proposed agreed order that would have reduced your current child support from the $1,241.57 down to a lower amount?
Signed anything? No. Agreed upon? Yes.
Okay. Now, did your occupation change shortly after that in the month of October?
It did, yes.
Okay. Where did you go to work for in October shortly after that proposed order was agreed to?
West Africa.
Okay. And what are you doing in West Africa?
Defense contracting for the military again. Okay.
And do you have have you brought a copy of your latest pay stub with you today?
No, but I can get one.
Okay. Are you are you paid hourly or are you paid salary?
I'm paid salary.
Okay. And what is your salary as a defense contractor?
A year, it's $85,000 a year.
85,000. Now, do you receive any other income besides the income that you receive as a defense contractor?
Just military disability.
And how much do you get per month from military disability income?
Right around $2,000 a month.
Okay, around $2,000 a month.
Yes, I want to say $2,092 a month.
Okay, and is that tax-free income?
It is.
So 85,000 a year would come out to about $7,083.33 a month, or around that. Does that sound correct to you?
It does, yeah.
Okay. And besides the VA disability income and the income that you get from your current employer, Do you have any other sources of income?
No.
Okay. Do you have any investment income or any income from a trust?
No.
Okay. Now, with the health insurance and dental insurance that you're providing for the child, what is the monthly cost of premiums for that insurance for the child?
I think it came up to $380 a month.
And how many people are covered under that?
Both myself, the child in this case, and my 16-year-old daughter.
So then the child's portion would be about $126 or around that a month.
I think so, yeah.
And that includes both health and dental insurance.
Health, dental, and vision, yes.
Okay. And are you asking the court today to determine if to modify the previous divorce decree that is currently in effect?
What I like is what's reasonable for the child, sir. I mean, based on what the child's needs versus the wants of other parties involved. I'm willing to pay whatever needs to be paid to make sure the child is taken care of. And
now, do you understand that based on my calculation from the current income information you provided, let me put in these figures, that your current child support amount would not change from what was previously ordered in the decree. It would actually go up to $1,338.39.
say that amount one more time.
Do you understand that based on my calculations from the income information that you provided, that your current child support would not be decreased based on your current income? It would actually increase to $1,338 a month, and that's giving you credit for the one other child that you're supporting, and also the cost of the health and dental insurance.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Schnell, do you have any questions with regard to child support?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Schnell, is there anything that you would like to say in regard to the child support issue?
I do, Your Honor. The biggest thing is some sort of justification that the money that is provided to the child every month is actually going to the child, not other parties.
Do you have any concerns or issues with the AG's office calculation of child support?
Calculation is not an issue, Your Honor. No, it's just a matter of when the funds are distributed to the adult in the situation. Does the money actually go to the child, or does it go to hairstyles or other parties that it shouldn't go to? That's where I have a problem. Because recently, I zeroed out the balance to the arrears that was on the account, and I'm okay with this. I just want to make sure that this is 100% clear. I'm okay with doing this. It's my responsibility as the child's father. But the mother received about $6,300, and yet we're still asking for more money for the child involved in this case's extracurricular activities. Again, like I said, I want to make sure this is fully understood, but I'm 100% on board and okay with providing and assisting with the child's cost of extracurricular activities. But when you receive a $6,300 payment, it shouldn't be that soon after getting that to be asking for more money. So my question would be, where's all that money going? Where's that money going? Is it going to the child, or is it going to other people?
Your Honor, in the state of Texas, child support is calculated based on the guidelines, and it's paid to the custodial parent. And we do not check to determine how it's spent once the money is paid to the custodial parent. It is presumed that the money is spent for the benefit of the child by the custodial parent that it's paid to, and the amount that's paid is calculated based on the guidelines.
Hang on.
So
Wait. Mr. Schnell, I need you to wait. The court reporter can only take down one person talking at a time. Okay. So don't talk over one another. Okay. Mr. McNulty, were you finished?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes. I'm aware as far as how child support is handled in the state of Texas. Mr. Snell, did you have something you wish to add?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, Your Honor, was the fact that I understand that the state of Texas, along with a lot of other states, there's not a system in place, and it would be a massive system to monitor and follow where funds are spent. But there's got to be some sort of middle ground where I know the money that I provide as child support, and there are some people that are on this call who look at it as reimbursement of funds already spent. I disagree with that. If that's the case, then why wouldn't they call it reimbursement for the custodial parent as opposed to child support? Rhetorical question, I understand. But if it's not going to support the child, then where's it going? That's why it's called child support. It's not called reimbursement funds for the custodial or whatever parent's receiving the funds. So that's where I have a hard time with all of this. Do I understand the amount of money that I'm required to pay based on my income? Yes, I understand 100%. I have no question with that. The question I have is what I said previously is, how do I know that a amount of $1,338 is actually going to the child involved in this case, or it's going to someone else's well-being or personal hygiene or whatever you want to call it? That's where I have a problem.
Okay. Mr. McNulty, how do you wish to proceed with regard to the child support? Do you want verification of income?
Your Honor, I would like to base the child support on the testimony that Mr. Schnell has provided about his income. I've calculated it based on the information that he provided under oath, and that's what I based the calculation on.
Okay. And that takes into consideration the fact that he has another minor child that he supports.
Yes, Your Honor. The calculation I did also factor in the other minor child.
Okay. And then as far as income, what was your income based on? Was it the 85,000?
It was the 85,000, which a year, which comes out to $7,083.33 a month, plus the VA disability income of $2,092 a month, which is tax-free income, and I used both those sources of income to calculate what his current child support should be.
Okay, this may be a silly question, but but does the child get any benefits as a result of Mr. Schnell's disability income?
I would have to ask or call Ms. Schnell to ask her some questions about additional to get additional information on that.
Okay, if you will proceed.
All right. Ms. Schnell, you understand that the reason we're here today is to determine if the previous divorce decree should be modified?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you also understand that as of as of last month, there currently is no arrearage balance as of March 31st, and so at this time we're not going to be asking the court to take a judgment for any arrears?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Now, is your child receiving any income from Mr. Schnell's disability?
I didn't know that was even an option. So no, sir, he's not.
Okay, so he's not getting any income
No.
at this time. Okay. Do you agree that Mr. Schnell is currently providing health and dental insurance for your child?
As far as I was made aware, he did let me know that he was supposedly going to be losing this job and would be seeking insurance through the VA if possible for the kids.
But at this time, is he currently providing the insurance? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Snell, go ahead.
Your Honor, I did have one additional question I wanted to ask, and I think this direction is for both parties. Because we did in our initial pleadings ask the court to consider a non-disclosure finding. Ms. Schnell, do you have any safety concerns about your address or contact information being disclosed in any order that the court enters today?
No, he already has it.
Okay, and Mr. Schnell, do you have any concerns about your contact information being disclosed in any order today?
No, sir.
Okay. I apologize, Your Honor. No further questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay. If we have resolved the issue with regard to child support, let's discuss the enforcement motion. Mr. Schnell, if you will proceed as far as let me know what the basis is for the enforcement.
Basically, the simple as this, Your Honor. I have a court order signed by myself, Ms. Schnell, and a Judge Blake that there's a no exceptions. It's basically 2 times a week on Sundays and on Wednesdays at 6:30 Central Time that I'm authorized and allowed to FaceTime with the child. And it's the verbiage is non-negotiable. Now, in my brain, and I'm not the smartest man in the world, but when it says non-negotiable, that's exactly what should happen. I mean, there's no question it will happen. And it hasn't been. I call every Sunday, I call every Wednesday at 6:30 Central Time, and the phone will ring and ring and ring, or it'll ring once and then I'll go to voicemail and I'll get a text message from Ms. Schnell saying she's working or the child is busy or there's always some excuse. Now, I don't agree with that. That in my mind, in my simple mind, that is a violation of the pre-agreed upon order. So there's been no follow-up with that. And there's always been well, the mother has to work. I don't disclose. I'm not saying that she can't work. I'm not saying she shouldn't be able to work. Everyone who wants to work should be able to work. Where I have a problem is there's been no communication from Ms. Schnell to myself to modify between the two of us to a different day or days of the week where she is available and the child is available. I've asked for her work schedule multiple times with no response. I've asked her to provide me with specific days where she is available and the child is available, and she's not done it. It's always an excuse of I'm not co-parenting because of whatever reason, and that's inexcusable, Your Honor. I'm a very simple person. I'm a very easygoing person. I just need to know what days and what times, and that phone's going to ring on those specific days and times. So where I'm talking about the enforcement, to go back to your original question, is how can something be written in black and white in big bold letters, being non-negotiable, not take place and have no consequence because of it? I mean, if I was to do something wrong like this, you better believe that I'm gonna get raked over the coals from whoever, from whether it's from Mrs. Schnell or from another judge providing or whatever. But there's no penalty taking place up until this point. And I'm not asking for any kind of penalization. I'm just asking for equality, as close to that as I can. If I'm allowed to talk to my son twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays at 6:30 Central Time, and I haven't been, why? There's no answer. Working is one thing, but give me another option. Give me some other days, some other times where the child is available and the mother is there where she can actually pick the phone up and I can talk to the child. Because that is an important thing for me. My relationship with my son is, there's nothing more. There's nothing more important.
Okay. Other than the FaceTime telephone access, have you missed any other periods of possession?
Yes, actually, 2 different times, actually 3 for sure. When the order was initially signed in March of 2022, based on the even years, I'm supposed to have the child for Thanksgiving. I didn't have him that year, and every odd year I'm supposed to have him for Christmas. In 2023, I actually purchased flights for myself and the child. I flew down to Destin, Florida, because at the time the child was residing in Alabama. I flew down there, allegedly, according to Ms. Schnell's explanation, the child was ill, was in the hospital setting, which the child was not in a hospital, he was in a clinic because an animal actually bit him, but he was 100% safe and there was no restrictions on him traveling. Ms. Schnell felt that it was in the child's best interest that he did not travel, but now that impeded on my parenting time with the child. Additionally, this last December, 2024, I was supposed to have him for Christmas as well. That didn't take place. I had a flight reserved. All I had to do was hit buy the tickets now, and it would have been done. But Ms. Schnell felt it was in the child's best interest, for whatever her reasoning, that she would not allow and refuse to let the child have parenting time with me.
Okay. Are there any other periods of missed possession or access?
Summer vacations, really. I mean, granted, I will take some accountability. Because of my job, it's kind of hit or miss. If I'm available to be home during time during the summer, I understand that I can't enforce those things because it's on me. It's my responsibility. It's my fault that I wasn't there for it. So I take accountability for that. But I've been trying to accommodate my schedule to where I am home for the parenting times that I'm allotted.
Okay, Michelle, do you have a response to
Yes.
these issues? Please proceed.
Just to clarify, the last time Brody saw his dad was in September of 2021 when the police removed him from our house. Okay. Casey's asked for visitation 3 times. The first time Brody was not from a dog bite. They found a mass in his left testicle and they were trying to find out if it was cancer. I asked Casey to come down because I was scared our son was going to have cancer. He chose not to. He asked Christmas of 22. That was 22. This last year for Christmas, when he brought it up, he was going to book a flight with a connector flight, which is in our divorce papers that he's not supposed to do. It has to be a one-way flight with an adult or a paid chaperone that the flight does. He was going to have the 16-year-old be the chaperone for Brody on the connecting flight, which is against the court orders. I also found out during December he had another domestic violence issue. December 20th, they responded to his house in Bay City. My son would have been there yet again when the police were there with his father. I have safety concerns for my son. He's asked for three times for visitation since 2021. He's supposed to have Brody one weekend a month, a spring break, summer, Christmas, and Father's Day. He's not asked for Brody this summer. April 1st has already passed and he has not even said anything. He's just asking for custody when it's convenient for him. I've offered to bring Brody up there for Thanksgiving in 2024 because he said he was too broke. He said no, that wouldn't work for him. I asked him if he could come down and maybe we could meet in Chicago for an aquarium trip. I had to cancel that because him and his girlfriend contacted me fighting one day. He had broke furniture in the house. She had gone through his phone and found him flirting, and she thought he was flirting with me, and there was an issue. So I canceled it because I was concerned again for safety. I have tried to harbor some sort of relationship for him and his son. He's not interested. I have lists and lists of calls he's missed or calls where he has called us from a bar.
Well, so my question is, if the court order says that the FaceTime communications are not optional, that they're required, why are these not happening?
If I'm at work, I've given him times to recall, plenty of times that he can call back, and he never does.
So where's your son? Where's your son when you're at work?
At home. He doesn't have a cell phone. My son doesn't, I'm sorry.
Well, what does he do in case of emergency?
His older brother has a cell phone.
Is there a computer at home?
So his sister has a MacBook.
Is there not can you not make arrangements for a FaceTime call through the MacBook? A Zoom call?
I think so. I'm not familiar with how that works on the MacBook, to be honest, so I don't even know. I would assume you could.
Your Honor, I had something on that really quick to kind of help, I guess.
Okay.
I did offer, I did some research, and they actually have a cell phone services called Bark, as in the dog bark. I proposed that to Michelle. It's basically a parent, it's a parent survey guided phone service where it's a flat fee every month. Where the child, it's like a parent restricted phone service where there's social media or certain things are restricted and blocked from the child based on a parent's thoughts and feelings on where the child is responsibly. I proposed that to Michelle. She was all for it. Unfortunately, she told me that the child told her he did not want this device. I mean, I'm older than some people. I guess I don't understand why a 12-year-old child would not want their own cell phone to show that independence. So that's kind of where I was confused myself. But like I said, I did offer that as a solution, but it was shot down.
Okay, Mr. Schnell, do you want to speak to the complaint that Ms. Schnell raised regarding a domestic violence issue?
That has nothing to do with the child, and based on her dates, I do have the vacation period for when the child was going to be on Christmas break, and the child would not have been there. I keep his calendar as a screenshot, plus as a saved document on my computer, to know when his breaks are, and so on and so forth.
Are there any criminal charges pending in connection with that incident?
No, ma'am.
When was the last time you saw your son?
September 7th, 2021.
And why have you not seen him in the last 3 years?
Like I said, Your Honor, my job was a little overly demanding at times. I've made attempts. Like I said earlier, I flew down to Destin, Florida, where they were living in Alabama, to bring him back to Michigan with me to spend time with me. Again, like I said, I actually have a screenshot that Ms. Schnell sent me that doesn't actually say anything regarding cancer whatsoever. So that's actually new information for me. If that needs to be submitted to the courts, I can definitely track that down and send it in, so it can be shown that there's no any kind of cancer documentation. There's no anything. If there is, then that's all new information for me. The story that I got from Ms. Schnell was that a dog broke through the front door of the residence they were in, latched on to the private area of the child. And she said the child didn't scream because he knew that the child would only get more excited and more agitated, and maybe cause more further damage. That's as far as that situation there. That's as far as I know. But basically, Your Honor, every time that I've made an attempt to purchase tickets or to see the child, it's been on the mother's terms, where I would have to travel to where the child is, and not have the child with me, because he has two grandparents that miss him, love him, want to see him, and other family members. Like I have two brothers that have not seen him in very, very long time, and they like to spend time with him also.
Do either of you or the child still have any connection to Texas? I mean, I know, Mr. Snell, you said you had a child that was still in Fannin County.
No, ma'am.
That's the only connection for me, Your Honor. From what I understand, it was brought to my attention that Ms. Schnell, when she did move out of the state of Texas, she's supposed to file a motion to relocate. She didn't do that, so I don't know what happened with that.
My paperwork says I need to notify Mr. Schnell if I move, and I did. I always make sure to. He tried to make this claim last time he brought me to court for contempt, that I did not notify him, even though he helped me move financially. And the dog story, again, is not correct. Brody was bit in the street in Texas. He was seen in Texas, in Fannin County, for the dog bite in 2023, that summer. I sent Casey a document from the doctor with the ultrasound request saying that they had found a left testicular mass. And Fannin County has the dog bite on record in 2023, because we went to the police department came up to the hospital in Bonham.
Okay, Ms. Schnell, you indicated that you were seeking supervised visitation.
Mm-hmm. My concern is the last time I saw Casey, the police were involved. From what I understand, they were just at his house in December. I'm concerned that it's going to be a continuing thing, and that my son's going to be in the middle of his next domestic violence issue.
What documentation do either of you have with regard to the missed communications, the attempts to reschedule, the offers for different times, for substitute?
Screenshots. I have tons of screenshots from where I've invited, from birthdays, Thanksgiving, trick-or-treating, aquarium trips, things that aren't in my home where they're more regulated outside. And I've asked, and he still says no.
Mr. Snell, when's the last time you spoke to your son on the phone?
The last time was, I think it was December 21st, 2023.
How many attempts were made since December of 2023? I mean, how many attempts?
So
could you repeat that for the court reporter?
Twice a week since then. So
Do you have evidence showing that you made those attempts?
I can pull full records and I can submit them as needed.
Ms. Schnell, do you agree or disagree that he's made those
Disagree.
attempts?
Disagree. Disagree. There have been plenty of missed calls.
Now, I'm asking, did he make those attempts to communicate with his son?
The one when he did call,
He says twice a week over the course of the last year. Did he make those attempts?
no, ma'am. I have,
Mr. Snell,
sorry.
Mr. Snell, if you will submit those records to the court coordinator, I just want to know what has occurred since December of 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He has sent me screenshots where he's called me on airplane mode of his phone, which will show that it's dialing, but it won't make the call.
Well, phone records will show the
Okay.
connection of the call. Do you have any objection to the provision of a phone to your son, Ms. Schnell?
No.
Mr. Schnell, what does your schedule look like over the next 6 months as far as being able to exercise visitation?
I was actually planning on having the child for my allotted time this summer. Absolutely, but the entire time. And then the next 6 months, I was able to work my schedule around to where I would have him for the 50% of the summer, like the older states, plus for the week of Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry, what was the last bit of that?
Oh, the week of Thanksgiving, it's my parents' time. I worked my schedule around to where I would be available for him during that period also.
Are you able to travel to Missouri before school gets out for the summer?
I have to double check his calendar as far as what day he's out of school. I think I should be able to go. Yeah, I think I can travel to Missouri. I guess my question would be, why wouldn't I be able to put him on a plane where I can maximize my time with him?
I understand, but if you haven't seen your son since 2021, you can understand the court's concerns. You haven't had a face-to-face with him since 2021?
Correct. I mean, if I have to, I'll do what I have to do for the child. So if that's what is needed, then that's fine. I will make note that I have reached out to a local law enforcement agency where the child resides. And if Ms. Schnell refuses or is not present at the home at the specific day and time that I arrive, the state of Missouri has no authority to enforce any order from Texas. So what do I do then?
Well, with both of you being residents of other states and the child, I mean, we're kind of in an unusual situation because the child doesn't live in Texas. Neither of you live in Texas. There's not really a connection to Texas. So, short of entering this child support order, I think that, jurisdiction on an enforcement action should be most likely where the child resides. And so this case would be transferred.
So who would need to file that, Your Honor?
Well, it's probably the same. I mean, I can't speak to how it works in another state. But, if an order is being violated, then the person, who wants to enforce the order is generally the person that's going to file something in that court. But you'd have to have the case transferred. And I cannot give you legal advice. That's when it would be beneficial to seek an attorney to take care of the situation.
I understand.
Okay. Is there anything further from Mr. Snell?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Snell, do you have anything further?
Me, no, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. McNulty?
Your Honor, I'll prepare an order that modifies Mr. Schnell's child support. Is the court going to make May 1st the start date for the $13.38 a month?
Yes, I will order that child support be changed to reflect $1,338.39 effective May 1st.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, with regard to these issues about visitation, Mr. Snell, send the court coordinator your phone records, identify the phone number so that it's very clear as to who you're calling and the attempts that were made. Okay.
I understand.
And then once I get that, I will issue a ruling as far as the enforcement action. Okay.
I understand.
And the supervised visitation.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything further from the parties?
Thank you.
Okay.
Nothing further from the state, Your
Then-
Honor.
Okay. Thank you all for participating by Zoom. And I think that we're off the record in this matter.
I love every single one of you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.